Welcome back to our last episode of our travel vlog. A Greek island cruise from Athens wouldn't be complete without seeing the metropolis major sites, the Acropolis. We also gonna learn all about Athens, so if you're interested, you are welcome.
We have about 2,000 islands. 200 of them are inhabited. And of course, the Athenians choose the islands for their vacation, for their summer vacation. So it's getting really busy. Especially, I think, in August is the busiest time for the port. Piraeus was found in the 5th century BC, so 2,500 years ago. The period that Athens was very powerful and had the biggest fleet in the Mediterranean, so they needed a port for their boats, and they found this area here, the city of Piraeus. In Greece, in total, we are about 11 million people. Almost half live here in Athens, Piraeus and the suburbs. After World War II, people started moving from the countryside to the city center because it was a lot easier for them to find a job. So there has been a change in the population of the city center. The past, let's say 10-15 years, the opposite thing happens because of the explosion of the tourism industry. Young people move to the islands to become a part of the tourism industry. So hopefully people will be spread throughout the years. Have a view of a beautiful church on your right, St. Nicholas, white and blue colors. St. Nicholas, the protector of sailors. Whenever you see a church very close to the water, probably it's St. Nicholas. And here in Greece we are Christian Orthodox. It's not mandatory. We get to choose our own religion, but most Greeks, let's say more than 90% of Greeks, are Christian Orthodox. Blocks of flats, people live in apartments, colors, grey colors, light beige. The city, though, before World War II looked totally different. Imagine small houses with yards. But during World War II and the bombing, the city was fully destroyed, and when it was reconstructed, they built blocks of flats. Now, smaller houses with yards you can find in the suburbs of the cities. Here in Piraeus, some neoclassical buildings are still standing, and we will have a view of some of these buildings on our way to the city. Some are abandoned, some are renovated and still in use. Lots of traffic, this is expectable. Lots of traffic in the city center and Piraeus. For some reason, most people drive to go to work. While we have the subway and the train that are both very punctual. Of course, we have the bus and the tram, but with the bus you cannot actually predict the time, but with the train and the subway, these are very, very useful. But especially after the COVID, people use their cars, so the city is crazy. On your right, have a view of another port of Piraeus, Zea Port. This is a port where we park the private and rental yachts. People, usually wealthy people, prefer to use a private boat, a private yacht, to approach the islands that are close by. We have a lot of islands that are close by. In the Saronic Gulf, this is how this part of the Aegean Sea is called, Saronic Gulf, like Poros, Hydra, Spetses, Salamina, Aegina, and people prefer to use a private yacht to visit these islands. And back in the 5th century BC, here the Athenians kept their shipyards. The ships of the Athenians were made of wood, the famous triiris. Have you seen movies? I'm sure you know how the ships look like, our ships, the famous trirees that were made of wood. So because they were made of wood, they absorbed a lot of water. So they needed to be repaired often. As you can see here, the airport has a pedestrian zone with cafes. So it's nice to enjoy a coffee or some alcohol in the afternoon with a view of the port and the modern city of Piraeus. On your right, the first view of the city of Athens. That's where we're going. And the view of the sea, the water, the Aegean Sea, and the public beach. On your left, you will have a view of neoclassical buildings. As I told you, some renovated and still in use, some are just abandoned. The water here is the Aegean Sea, and on the west we have the Ionian Sea, both part of the Mediterranean Sea. We have no oceans here, we only have small seas. And most beaches are public. It's free to swim, and they have cafes with umbrellas and sunbeds. Greeks love swimming. It's easy to approach the water and swim. Swimming is very healthy. No matter where you are in Greece, even if you are on top of Mount Olympus, you don't need more than 1 hour to approach the seaside. And of course, as you can imagine, the people that live here in Piraeus swim a lot. Some swim even during the winter, but I think usually they start in May. On your right, you will have a view of the most picturesque port of Piraeus, Mikrolimano Port. Mikrolimano means small port. It has a pedestrian zone and fish taverns all around. It's beautiful to enjoy a fresh fish along with a Greek salad and a view of the port. Do you see these trees on your right and left that look like orange trees?
Yeah.
These are not orange trees. These are sour orange trees. They're bitter. They're not eatable.
Okay.
But we can collect all the fruits from the streets. It's free to collect the fruit.
Marmalade, probably.
And we add sugar and we cook it's like a marmalade. We call it spoon sweet. We eat it with a spoon. It's like a marmalade but with pieces from the fruit. And it's a great dessert, a very traditional dessert, matches with a Greek coffee. And an amazing view on your right of another port of Piraeus, Castella Port, the city, and the arenas of Olympiakos. On your right, two sports arenas. The first one is used for basketball. It's an indoor sports arena, and the red one is used for football. Football in Greece means soccer. These arenas were constructed for the Olympic Games of 2004. The arenas of Olympiakos, the team of Piraeus. The great opponent of Olympiakos is Panathinaikos, the team of Athens.
Athens, Piraeus, as the capital of Greece and one of Europe's most bustling cities, Athens is powered by 5,000 years of history. Travelers flock from around the world to experience its history while on cruises from Athens. After all, the art, theatre, architecture, and philosophy of Athens had ripple effects through the fabric of entire civilizations. Take in thousands of years of history through timeless excursions while on taking a cruise from Athens. The departure port of Piraeus is one of the busiest commercial ports in the world, servicing many Mediterranean cruises, and sits on a natural sandy beach where local Athenians often relax on summer weekends. Piraeus offers travelers stopping through on the Greek island cruises from Athens opportunity to explore, shop and eat traditional Greek dishes. We have also visited the museum with incredible history, and our guide was just out of this world. She had so much knowledge. Unfortunately, I cannot repeat the way she was to us. We had earpiece, so it is, it's hard, but I just wanted to show you what we've experienced, and just go through piece by piece of all the ruins and all the knowledge what she gave us. What happened thousands of years ago, it was just absolutely unforgettable experience. So thank you so much for that, Tuba. At the Acropolis, the world-famous Parthenon stands apart from any other structure in the modern or ancient world. It's instantly recognizable as a symbol of Athens, similar to Rome's Colosseum or the Taj Mahal in Agra. Just standing here on the top of this mountain, but actually when we reached the top, it was really windy. Honestly, it was a beautiful day. As you can see, blue skies, a little bit of cloud, but the top, it was so windy. And even our tour guide said that day before of our excursion, she nearly had to stop the excursion with her group because it was so windy. But honestly, we absolutely enjoyed it, and I would go back in a heartbeat. I really enjoyed the bus drive. It took us about an hour and a half from the port where our ship was to go to the Acropolis, and then it was literally walking distance to the museum. We had our own time, so we'd be looking around in the shops. It was really nice. We also had 3-course meal, what was amazing. And honestly, this excursion, if you go on the Regent Seven Seas ship, we did the Splendor, I highly recommend this tour. Look at this, just looking down on that glass floor. You can see the ruins of thousands of years history, and that came across actually all the way to the streets where we went to the ice cream shop, and you look down and the same way they kept the glass floor and then the ruins of that beautiful history of Greece. Absolutely mesmerizing. We only spent one day. This was actually our last day, day 10 on our cruise ship, Greece. But I would love to go back, perhaps for a long weekend, to explore more of this amazing country. So we went in April, what was really good for, going through all these historical sites because it wasn't too hot. So I would suggest to go in a spring.
Underneath the philosophers, Plato and Aristotle. It looks like a temple, doesn't it? It's not a temple though. All these buildings were constructed during the reign of King Otto because he loved the ancient city of Athens. So the buildings he created looked like a temple. This is the residence of the Prime Minister and then the presidential residence. We have presidential democracy. The presidents, though, the Prime Minister picks the president, so the Prime Minister makes all the decisions. We have elections every 4 years, and he's the one who picks the president, and the president has more ceremonial duties. And shortly on your left, you will have a view of the Olympic Stadium, the only stadium fully made of marble. It holds about 50,000 seats. It's on your left. It was originally built in the 5th century BC and it was used for athletic games. It was renovated for the first modern Olympics in 1896 and we still use it for concerts and ceremonies. When they light the torch with the flame that passes through to the host city of the Olympic Games, the ceremony takes place here. So next time you watch this ceremony on TV, you'll know you've seen the stadium. Looks like they're having fun, huh? Now, the stadium is also the finish line of marathon. We talked a little bit about the marathon in the museum when I showed you the statue of Nike, if you can remember. Now, marathon, as I told you, is a plain 26 miles away from the city of Athens. So, the first battle between the Athenians and the Persians took place in Marathon. Athens won, but their victory was unexpected. So they wanted to inform the city center about their victory. So they sent a messenger, a runner, organizing a marathon race that would start from the plain of Marathon and finish here in front of the Olympic Stadium. Since then we have marathon races organized everywhere in the world. The original marathon takes place here. It's always every second Sunday of November. And people from all over the world come to participate. So now you know why they're called the marathons. It's the name of the plain where the first battle between the Athenians and the Persians took place, and why they are 26 miles. It's the distance from the city to the plain. Athens is small, all around the Acropolis. Of course, this is because when King Otto reconstructed the city center after our independence war and the Greek state was established, he created a city with a capacity of 200,000 people, and today we are 5 million. So the city expanded a lot. The historical center is all around the Acropolis. So now we are headed back. Actually, we will drive back to the port. So we will use the same avenue, Sigrou Avenue, the avenue that we used this morning to approach the city. So you can just relax and enjoy our way back. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us. One day in Greece. I absolutely enjoyed learning all about Athens, Greece, and see the Acropolis. Well, I cannot wait to bring you along with our next travel vlogs, but for now, bye friends.